welcome back to Lovely Lavender Wishes, and we're continuing on with our Gothic Love Journal. So let me show you what I have accomplished since I saw you last, or you saw me last. I added some black lace and red lace, as well as a few of these velvety tabs throughout all the signatures. So I just sewed those on to the paper, the edge of the page. So that's all I did, is just kind of dispersed some black and red lace. I also finished all of my embossing. So I didn't do a lot of embossing, but I did do some. You saw me do some in the last video, so I did that. So what I did do that you did not see is between each center signature, on one side I wrote one word, and then on the other side I wrote another word with some stamps and embossing powder. So that one was the first signature. The second signature says, let's see, what does it say? Soul Mate in black. And then here's another embossed part that I did. So I just did a little bit, let me see, just a little bit throughout. Here's another one of the love stamps. So did that. And then finally in the last signature, before the center of the signature, I had to put the name of the book, Gothic in black, and then on the other side, Love. So Gothic Love, that's the title of this journal. So I had to write that in, and I just thought that went perfectly with this page right here. So the black and red embossing powder is just working out so well. So see, little by little, it's getting there. It's starting to look like a journal now, isn't it? Little by little. Okay, so today I wanted to try something. Let me move these to the side. So I tried a little bit of this before I got on camera, because I've never tried this before, and I wanted to see if it would work. So I have these really fragile heart doilies of paper. And with the red and black embossing powder, I wanted to see if I can emboss these with a few layers and make them really, really strong for tuck spots. And it did work, except, okay, so what I did with this one is I embossed the whole thing in black a couple times, probably 2 or 3 times. I covered it with black embossing powder. And, you know, so I would do one layer, heat it up, do another layer, heat it up, and do another layer. And then I went into the red, and I thought the red would stand out really bright against this black, but as you can see, it didn't. You can see the red right here. I did it along the edges on the top here. I don't know if you can kind of see it. It turns into like a blood red, I guess, because what happened was it melted into the black and kind of like morphed into this reddish black. And I had to do a couple different layers just to even try to get this red tint even. So what we're going to do today, I'm going to show you how I did this, and we are going to try maybe only embossing certain parts with black and then the other parts with red, so I can get a brighter red, and we'll see how that turns out. Who knows? I mean, this is all a trial. I've never done this before, so we are going to try it. So this is my test. Let's put that to the side. Okay, so all I did was get my Versamark. Let's work on one at a time. I had a little cardboard piece to the side so I can hold this with my tongs here like that when I was drying it, because if you first hold it with your tongs, I tried drying it like this and it would fly. That did not work, so I needed a backing, so I would hold it to the backing like that and dry it, so that was helpful. So have like maybe a piece of cardboard or glass, or you know, something that you have that you can kind of have as a background for this, you know, for sturdiness. Okay, so I am only going to, let me wipe all this off. I am only going to do certain parts of this black. We'll see. I'll try to just, you really can't, you really can't decide what parts are going to get the ink on it, really. I'm going to try to just press certain areas and leave other areas open. I don't know, we'll see how this works. So I'm going to take my black. I had embossing powder everywhere, y'all, when I was trying this. So make sure you have a clean space and, you know, like good paper around so you can, I want more black than that. This is why I got embossing powder everywhere, because I was doing stuff like this. I was just pressing it down. There's probably an easier way to do this. I just don't know. Okay, hardly got any black on there. But I don't want to stick this back in the Versamark with powder. So the first thing, I'll just dry this part and then we'll add more. So I'm gonna hold this like this, grab my heating tool. And get this up. Yeah, I barely got any Versamark on this. I'm gonna have to do better the next time around. I might just have to put the whole thing in. Oops, still powdery a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna let that cool off just a tad before I stick it back in. I'm gonna cover this because I have a lot here that I can just stick it all in. Okay, let's try this again. I'm just gonna really start pressing. This is another reason why my Versamark gets pretty junked up, because I just put things right back in it. Okay. Let's see if we can get more of the black embossing powder on this. Oh, that's better. Okay. And I'm gonna scrape off a little because I think I'm gonna want red in some areas. So I'm just gonna scrape off just that. And the next one we'll do is red. Okay. We'll try it. We'll see what happens. Like I said, this is all an experiment. Oop. And I have an issue with these things. Okay. Yeah, if you have any doilies or any kind of paper that you want to emboss like this makes the doilies, I found out, a lot more resilient, sturdy, kind of like plastic actually. They're hard to tear, so these would be good to put in for pockets or tuck spots once they're all embossed. Got it all. Okay. Yep, looks like we're getting it all there. Okay, so I'm gonna put the black away and we're gonna try the red on all these open spots and we'll see what that looks like. Whoop. See y'all, make a mess. I make a mess at all times. I just swipe the excess into my garbage over here so I don't have too much of a mess. I'll clean all this up at the end of the day. Look at that. Messes everywhere. Okay. Is this what y'all do? I just literally swipe everything onto the floor, and then when I'm done with a project, I vacuum. I don't vacuum until I'm done with a project. So I don't clear off my table. I don't clean it. I really don't do anything. I just kind of swipe everything to my garbage over here or onto the floor. And then when I am finally done with my project, then I'll go through, clean everything up. I'll go through with the vacuum, and the whole room just needs a rehaul, re-clean. Okay, so now I'm going to Versamark up all this, and hopefully, let me wipe this off, the red we'll get red on all these parts. You can kind of tell on the back which parts did not get embossed. I might have to do a couple layers, we'll see. So make sure we really got it. And in the black parts, it'll kind of blend in with the black versus these white parts. I'm hoping the red will show up a lot more than it did on the last heart. We'll see. We shall see. Let's make sure we get the powder everywhere it needs to go. And shake off the excess. And then grab your little tray. Let's see how this goes. See how the red is blending into the black? But oh, I'm liking that, how it's really defining itself on the edges that didn't get the black. Oh, I love that. Oh, yeah. Okay. So if you can see close up, see I left that part, like I scraped off some of the black on there. I like that, how that it has kind of blended together. And then on the edges here, we have a more distinct color red along these edges. And then on the black parts, it just kind of blended in with the black, any parts that it was sticking to. Ooh, I like that. Okay, I'm gonna do this part one more time to make sure it's strong and it'll hold its, its shape and kind of be firm, so when we can tuck things in here and it won't rip. But it's already getting pretty strong. But this one I could literally, it's like plastic now because I embossed it probably 4 or 5 separate times. But this one, as you can see, you can only see the red just in certain spots and just barely, like this, by leaving the spaces open, the red shows up more on this one. So you get 2 different looks. So if you do it all black and then the red on top, this is the look you'll get. If you do black in spots and then keep spots open for red, that's the look you'll get. So I like them both, actually. So you get 2 different looks, which is pretty cool. Okay, so let's re-emboss this. Okay, so I'm gonna try to really get these edges. Stick it in your embossing powder. Just use up what you have on your table or on your paper, and then you just shake off the excess. And if you see any spots that need to be touched up, you can do that. And see, some spots this red will blend into the black. Actually, I am going to rub off some of this red because I just want the black to show on those spots. I don't want to blend the red into those blacks. I want some parts to be really dark black, some parts to be blended red and black, and then some parts to be really red. So, and you can just rub it off with your finger. Like I said, you're gonna get messy on this, at least a little bit. You can kind of keep it contained, but you will get messy, see? So I am going to shake my hands off over the garbage and let's heat this up. See what happens. loving this look. So you can do this with really any color, any doilies you have, any if you have any die cuts. You could just layer it up, layer it up, layer it up with all different colors. And you'll get a different kind of look every time. Ooh, I really like that. Really like that. So if you can see, it's a little darker red here on the edges. We've got this little spot here that we wiped off all the black from so the red can seep in. And then we've got the red and black kind of blending. Ooh, I love that. Love it. That's gonna look perfect. So what I'm gonna do is once these get cool, let's say, grab, I'm just gonna show on that first. I might glue like a few of these edges down, and then this would be like a tuck spot. Or I might glue, you know, like this part down, and it could be like a side tuck to put in paper or something. Or it might be a pocket. I might sew around the edges like this, and then leave the top open for a pocket. So there's a lot of different things you can do with these, but I wanted to kind of give myself some options. And so let's pull this off and see. It's not too hot. I'll pull it off with my fingers. Gotta be careful because it kind of does stick to the back if you've got embossing powder on the back. Oh, I love that. Oh, look at that. So cool. Okay, let's try the other one. So here's a different look between both of these. A couple pieces got a little torn off on these. But here is the mostly black with a little bit of red, and here's like a combo. So you can see the difference on what happened with the different reds. So if you want from what I've been noticing, anything's gonna blend in with the black. So if you have black everywhere, it will blend in with it once it melts and dries. Versus if you leave areas open, you'll get a more pure look of the color. So we got those two. So let's try another one. Let's clean this off. I'm gonna do another one just kind of like that, just random black areas and random red areas. Got this last one, so you might as well use it. Okay, so this is the front. You can kind of tell the difference between the front and the back. The back looks like that. The front, it's got like, it's more raised. You know, you have the positive and negative side, I guess you'd call it. But I guess it really doesn't matter which side you emboss, but I'm gonna do the front. So what I'm gonna do this one is I'm gonna get the whole thing Versamarked. I'm gonna put the black on it and then just rub off the areas that I don't want with my finger. And we'll see how that works. See, these are so delicate when they're first, whoop. Oh my goodness, y'all. Okay, that's cool. It's already kind of leaving me. I'm gonna put some red here. So I'm gonna like wipe that off with my finger so we don't have a lot of black there. Let's do a little bit like right there, some red. And then this part will be red too. Okay, perfect. We shall see. Okay, let's dry this or heat this up. You can see it's starting to change right away. My heating tool is pretty hot right now, so it heats up really quickly. It's like magic before your eyes. I love that look. How it just all just melts together. And I just kind of go around one more time just to make sure I got it all. Okay. Try to let it cool off a little bit. Oh, that's cool. Okay, I'm gonna do one more layer of black because I do want to get it, so I need to kind of keep those, I'll have to rub off those areas. But yeah, I'm gonna try one more layer of black because you want to kind of layer it up just to make sure that it is, you know, the doily's getting strong, I guess, versus because it's still really thin. So I just want to kind of make sure that it's gonna be sturdy and strong for a pocket or a tuck spot. So I'm gonna emboss these up a few times. Close that before I get it all messed up even more than it is. Okay, so I didn't want this spot. I didn't want this spot. You can kind of see where the white is, so just kind of use your fingers and rub it off. And we had this spot up here, so I'm gonna rub that off as much as possible. Okay, y'all, I gotta wipe my hands off. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, it's just trial and error and just kind of fool with it. And see what happens. See what kind of effects you can get. I had all my embossing powder out and I saw these doilies. I was like, ooh, this might be cool. Let's see how it works. So far, it's working pretty good. A lot better than I thought it would. Because you just never know. Okay, cool. Okay, so now I'm gonna go on to the red. So let's clean this up. But you'll never know unless you try things. Like, I didn't know how this would work out. I was like, well, might as well try it. And you know, just by trying things, you might find something that really works for you or something that you really enjoy doing. This is working out a lot better than I thought it would, so I'm pleasantly surprised. Okay, I'm just kind of getting all the empty spots as best as I can. And we'll have to emboss it a couple times. Now I'm not too afraid if it gets on the black, it'll just blend in with the black. Just trying to make sure I get the spots that I really need the embossing powder on. And then you can kind of take it and move it around. Okay. Come on. Hold it right there. Okay. Let's try this. Okay, you can see we're going to have to do at least one more layer of the red in some of these areas to make it brighter and to layer it up a little bit. But that's cool. It's starting, like, certain areas are just showing up bright red. I love that. Okay. So I'm going to try to get this in a little pile. As best as possible. Let's grab this. Okay, and our Versamark one last time. spot right there. I could already feel that the doily now is like, doesn't even feel like paper anymore. It's starting to feel like plastic, which is what I want, because I want it to be firm and sturdy so I can make, like I said, little pockets or tuck spots out with these. Don't want red there. I mean, if I get a little bit, it doesn't really matter, but like I said, I want some areas to just be totally black. Some areas, you know, could be reddish black. And then other areas, I want just bright red if I can, or as bright as I can get it. Okay. That. Yeah, I gotta shake my hands off again. Oh, this is why I get embossing powder everywhere. So it does help if you have like this card or like a chipboard or something behind it, just to hold it, keep it firm. You don't have to touch it when it's so hot. Okay, there we go. Let's let that cool for a second. And I'll clean this up. And we'll compare all three of our hearts. And I'll put them to the side, and then when I go through each page and I'm ready to figure out what I'm going to do on each page, we'll see where we're going to put these. They're going to go in the journal somewhere. Okay. Ooh, still a little hot. So this is what this one looks like. I love it. It's like this, it is like this Gothic type reddish. Ooh, there's a little piece sticking out right there. So there's that one. Here is this one. This one had a lot more like bright red show through. So there's those two. And then this was the very first one I did with, I did it all black and then added the red on top. And so the red kind of faded into the black, but you still get a little, you can kind of see, still get a little shade of red along in certain spots, if you can catch the light. So here's the three different hearts. And what I'm gonna do tonight, I'm gonna put these under a book to get them flat so they're not curling up like this. But if you feel them, it feels like almost plastic. So it's not doily paper or paper anymore, really. The embossing powder really kind of soaked in and made it like a wax type feel or plastic type feel. So yeah, so tonight I'm gonna put these, like I said, under a book, so get these flattened out. And then when we start working on our pages, these will go on the page somewhere as either a tuck spot or a little pocket, or maybe even decoration, who knows? I mean, but I've got three of them here, so I can maybe do one of each: decoration, tuck spot, and a pocket. So yeah, so there we go, you guys. A little day of experimentation. Hope you enjoyed. Go explore and experiment with stuff you have at home. But thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.